Dharma Bites is brought to you by Free Buddhist Audio, the Dharma for your life. Our work is funded entirely by donations from our generous listeners. If you would like to help us keep this free, make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. Thank you, and happy listening.
Like, I always used to try and cycle my bike away with it still padlocked to the railings, like that was the level of unmindfulness I had. And, I noticed my life was going more smoothly than it had done. I think that carried on for like a number of years where it just felt like, I'm just seeing through all these patterns and making breakthroughs here, and wow, my life is transforming. And then after a number of years, it stopped feeling quite like that. And I think what it is like, to start off with, it's like there was a lot of stuff that could change quite quickly. And then it's like felt like I just hit a sort of bedrock of sanskaras, like deep patternings that have been probably like running on in me for lifetimes. And suddenly I was at a level where it's like these weren't going to shift in a hurry. I don't know what was happening for Shinran, but I imagine it was something like that. And certainly it's like it felt like he'd got stuck. What was he going to do now? So what he does is he leaves his monastery and he goes to Kyoto, where there's a very famous temple, a hexagonal hall, and it has a great statue of the Bodhisattva Kannon, which is a female form of Avalokiteshvara, this embodiment of the compassion of all the Buddhas. And Shinran's, he's desperate. He doesn't know what to do. And he spends 100 days on retreat in this hall. And on the 95th day, he goes to sleep and he has a dream. And in this dream, Kannon appears to him. Kannon appears to him and says, okay, you'll guess part of what he's struggling with when I tell you what Kannon says to him. If you want to sleep with a woman, I'll be your wife, and at death I'll lead you to the Pure Land. So you can imagine that if you're 29 years old and you're a young guy and you're asked to be celibate, this probably isn't the most straightforward thing in the whole world, okay? And actually a lot of the monks and nuns around that time, it's like they'd kind of pretend that they were keeping the monastic vows, but like off to the side they'd have like a mistress, or they'd sort of secretly be having a household somewhere else. So there was quite a lot of kind of hypocrisy kind of built into the monastic system at that time. And all the monasteries had standing armies. It was crazy. Anyway, so Shinran has this dream, and so I imagine this struggling with celibacy, it's like part of his sense of failure. And he must have had this question: do you have to be a monk or a nun to practice the Dharma seriously? Or actually, can you have a family? Can you have sexual partnerships? Actually, there's quite a lot of parallels with Sangharakshita and Triratna and Shinran and the Jodo Shinshu movement. And one of them is that, Bhante had his own process of realizing that a serious Dharma life does not have to be identified with monasticism. And the Triratna ordination, well, it's neither monk nor lay. And later on, Shinran says exactly the same thing. He says, I am neither monk nor lay.
We hope you enjoyed today's Dharma Bite. Please help us keep this free. Make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. And thank you.